Hey, good morning, everybody. Today, we're going to be putting on my makeup and talking about habits and how important they are for helping me and probably for helping you live with depression. So come on, let's get better together while I put on my makeup. Depression is not like a death sentence for your life. Depression doesn't mean, oh, well, you've been diagnosed with clinical depression and maybe this is something you've been living with your whole life and, maybe you're finally just starting medication and you're thinking, okay, everything's gonna be great. And then maybe you've been on medication for a while and you're like, hey, everything still sucks. Or maybe you just feel like you've been fighting for so long and you feel so beaten down and you just can't get back up this time. So that's kind of like life with depression. My experience of living with depression since childhood, first of all, as far as I can remember, I was experiencing some sort of depression, either long periods of it or as a child, just fits of absolute rage and just utter and complete despair. It's a great way to grow up. I highly recommend it. So where is this going? It's like, look, if there's one thing I'm an expert on, it's being depressed. You're like, how can you say that with a smile? It's not funny. Well, I choose to see the humor in really dark things. That's one of my coping mechanisms. But the other thing is I am now 53 years old and my life is probably right now the best it has ever been. And I anticipate it will continue to get better, although with seasons of suck, because that's how life goes. That is not to say that I do not still struggle with depression. And so that's why I wanted to make this video today. The reason why I wanted to make the video and do my makeup at the same time is because, first of all, I really feel the need to talk. I have a lot of videos I want to make today. I want to play with dolls. I want to make my other Halloween video. And there's just a lot that I want to do. I also want to share this with you because this has been on my mind for a really long time. Depression sucks. It's probably more prevalent right now than it has ever been, ever before. People who've never been depressed are depressed right now. I've developed a lot of skills that have made it so that I have an amazing life, even though depression is like this little specter that kind of hangs out behind me. And then every once in a while comes around the front and goes, boogity, 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 I'm back. Sometimes it just does it throughout the day. Like, I can't think of a day that's gone by where there hasn't been a moment where the boogie monster has taken over the body for a minute. It's kind of like I just saw Venom Carnage, Let There Be Carnage, and I thought a little bit about how it almost feels like depression is like my symbiote. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, I'm driving now. Sometimes you gotta let it drive a little bit, I've learned. It's how you understand where you're at in life. Sometimes you need to listen to it. Sometimes you need to talk to it and ask it, like, what do you need? What are you trying to tell me? Do you want to write some stuff down? Should I just turn on record on the phone and let you talk? Like, what do you need? Why are you here? And very often just stopping for a moment, recognizing that it's happening, that I've got that horrible, horrible sinking feeling, and then saying, okay, I feel you. What are you trying to tell me? What do you need? A lot of times, my little friend depression has something very important to tell me. So I think it's really important that we listen. Sometimes my friend depression is talking complete bullshit. And I'm just like, oh, okay, all right. No, that was not helpful. Like how sometimes Venom is very wise in the movie and sometimes Venom is a complete moron. Depression, just like that. So I need to get on some sort of Halloween-y colored eye makeup, but I don't want to go full on Halloween this time. How do I do it? What are the skills that you need to develop that I have developed? I have 5 because videos with numbers, list videos, do better, supposedly. You're like, 5, I can do 5, 5 is easy, I can do 5 things. Okay, lay it on me, Melissa. What are the 5 things that I need to learn how to do so that I can be like you? I can be a depressed person who's actually really full of joy and happy. This is how she does it. Is it her or is it Maybelline? Okay. The very, very first thing is the most important thing. And the first important thing that you need to learn and develop in your life is routines, okay? Routines will be your savior. Routines, if you don't have them, you are far more likely to just wander around feeling completely rudderless, which for me is one of the most profound depression feelings. This feeling like I am unmoored, I am unattached to anything, and I'm just like being bounced around without, like I'm the ball in the ping pong machine, and I have no control over what's happening. Okay? When I feel like that in life, that means that I have let my routine slide. And I'm going to share honest to God truth with you guys. This year, for a good part of this year, my routines were gone, completely gone. And because of it, I was in a really, really bad place. Really, really bad. And you're like, but you were making videos where you were smiling. Yeah, I'm really good at faking it. Although I'm not faking it right now. But I was in a really, really bad place. And it was actually a very good friend of mine who reminded me of the importance of routines in their life. And you know, as a nice, helpful suggestion that perhaps routines would be something I should return to. So like, well, what do you mean by routines? First of all, I want to point you to, there is a link down below to the Marie Forleo show, I think Marie TV, or you can listen to it as a podcast, where Mel Robbins talks about her new book, High Five. Honestly, I don't think you need to buy the book. I'm learning this a lot about podcasts. If I just listen to all the podcasts the person was on, I can save myself a lot of money. I feel bad saying that because someday I want to write a book and I want people to buy it, but I'm just saying, I know times are tough. So go listen to all the videos, but first watch Marie TV or listen to Marie TV with Mel Robbins, where she talks about high-fiving herself. She talks about how she started a habit of high-fiving herself in the mirror of the morning and how this pulled her out of kind of a death spiral depression. That's a simple habit. That's going to become one of my new habits, honestly. But those are the kinds of little tiny things that we can do. You're like, that's not going to work for me. You don't know, you haven't tried. Okay. Another habit that my husband, he heard a podcast or somebody was on something, and it was the guy who wrote the book called Make Your Bed. And I have been a lifelong not making my bedder because I have always, first of all, felt like making your bed is a waste of time. You're just going to get back in it and make a mess again. Okay. So, but I started making my bed, and just the act of immediately getting out of bed and making my bed and having that routine just gets my day. Like, I've already accomplished something. What? I also made it easier for myself to get dressed in the morning. Before I go to bed at night, I lay out my clothes in the bathroom. I've never done that in my life. I'm 53. I have never been a person who laid out their clothes. Started it a couple of weeks ago because I was really starting to just like hang out in the PJs, okay? I laid out my clothes, and it made it that much easier for me to do it in the morning, because I feel like for depressed people, morning is like the hardest friggin' time. So if we can just have some routines. I get up out of it. First of all, move your alarm clock across the room. Your phone, if your phone's your alarm clock, don't leave that shit next to you. Move it across the room. Second of all, get out of bed, make your bed. I'm not talking hospital corners. Don't have to be able to bounce a quarter off it. Yes, my dad was a Marine. You just need to just sort of pull everything back, put the pillows back, okay? And then you go in the bathroom where maybe your clothes already are, so you don't even have to think about that. Try the Mel Robbins high-fiving yourself. But create routines throughout your day. Set reminders on your phone. Now, that might give you a little bit of anxiety. I've tried all different reminder apps. What really honestly works best for me is a combination of two things. The first one is I just set alarms on my phone, like that, like when I'm supposed to do something, like an alarm will go off, and then I'll know that, oh yeah, okay, this is the time, this is when I'm supposed to be going for a walk. Okay, well, the alarm's going, I better put my shoes on and go for a walk. Or this is where I'm supposed to have the healthy food time, so that I don't do the unhealthy food an hour later. So like things like that. So like working stuff like that into your life is really, really helpful. So routines, creating routines, and I will do a whole video on routines, but that's the first survival skill, is starting to develop routines, things that you do every day that anchor you in your life and in your world. And like the stupid, most annoying, easiest one is making your freaking bed. That pisses me off like you've no idea. The second thing is you're going to express yourself. Now, for me, for the longest time, since I was like 10, it's been like diaries and journals, okay? So just a notebook that you write stuff in. Nobody's ever going to read it. You spill your guts. Okay, but not everybody's a writer. That doesn't, sometimes some people that like, oh great, thanks. Now I have anxiety because I have to write something in the journal. Okay. Maybe you're not a journal person. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you like to draw stuff. So maybe that's what you need to do. Ha ha, ha ha ha. It could be something completely different. It doesn't have to be a journal. It could be speaking. Okay, so right now, the act of making this video is literally life-giving to me. Okay, so one of the reasons that I probably continued to make videos even after Caden stopped doing the doll channel with me was because there was something life-affirming about talking, especially because I spend a lot of time, oh, that's very dark. Well, that was unfortunate. I spend a lot of time alone in my house. The act of, there we go. Oh, there we go. We'll just blend. The act of talking, even though I'm talking to a camera, is like really life-affirming for me. Okay, we can fix this. You can always fix it. By the way, makeup and life, you can always fix it. So maybe you like to draw. Maybe it's the spoken word. Maybe, like I said, just turn on record on your phone and just get it all out. Just get it all out. Looks like you put orange mud on your face. Don't worry. By the end of this, it's going to look so good. You're going to be amazed. Okay, so speak it, record it, make videos, do whatever you have to do. Maybe you like to dance. You're like, how is that going to help anything? You can, through moving your body, express yourself and express your emotions. Like interpretive dance is actually expressive. This is me doing interpretive dance. Clearly not a dancer. You need to find a way to communicate with yourself. You need to communicate. And you can do that by journaling, drawing, dancing, singing. I don't know, maybe, I'm not an athlete, so I don't know if it works like that, but I don't know, maybe doing something athletic is how you communicate with yourself, but you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure out what is your journaling. Oh my gosh, looks like someone beat me. What is your journaling? Okay. What is it? Now I can't journal anymore because I can't write with my hands. MS effed that up for me. I've tried typing. I don't like it. I don't like typing my journal. Now, sometimes I still scribble in a notebook just because that act of pen to paper is really, really meaningful to me. But a lot of times now, my journals are just me dictating into my phone. And now there's this really great app called Otter. And Otter is really cool because it immediately, in real time, takes the words that are spoken and transcribes them for you. Now, most people use it for meetings. I do use it for meetings. I am making such a mess of my eyes today. Once you throw on the false eyelashes, everything comes together. I love Otter. I think it's awesome. And I think there's a free version. I'll put a link down below. So it takes my mind ramblings of me just talking to my phone or just walking around a room and talking, and it turns it into like a document that I could then, if I wanted to, assemble it into a journal. I still haven't done that. They're just all sitting there. Okay. Next thing you need to do, and this needs to become something you do. By the way, these are all, referring back to number one, they're all habits. They're things you do every day. Oh crap, I have to do this every day? Mm-hmm. Journal, express yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every day. Every stinking day. I gotta make my bed and journal. Try some of these things. Okay, next. This one really sucks. I really hate this one. Physical movement. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. All right. So you're like, wow, you are really cursing today. Well, you know, I'm just in that kind of mood. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just being myself. Okay. And I really, myself, I don't like exercise. I don't like working out. I've never been athletic. And so this is probably the hardest one for me. I have tried to stick to yoga. I just came. I can't believe I did this. And I hope I actually do it because I spent money on it. There's this like thing on Facebook called Tap Fit that can add where it's like, you can tap dance away the weight. It just looked so ridiculous that I thought it would make me laugh if I did it. And then if I'm laughing and I'm moving my body, that's even better. So another way you can just move your body, and the one that I go to most often, is dancing really badly. So you put on one of your favorite songs or some really cheesy song. I find that Boogie Shoes by Casey and the Sunshine Band is good for this. Also, what is that Justin Timberlake song from Trolls? Can't Stop the Feeling, also really good for this particular exercise. It's the one where you dance like a complete goofball, like Elaine in Seinfeld, only intentionally. And you don't try to dance well. Now, sometimes I end up really busting a move. Yes, I'm that old. I said that. But a lot of times, I don't. A lot of times, it's just me dancing like a complete goofball and laughing. But I move my body. And if I don't move my body every day, and ideally more than once a day, ideally, if I don't move my body, depression has a better chance of just soaking right in there and like pulling me down. So moving my body is my way to get out of there, get back. Okay, another one, also annoying, but also really important. I have to look in the mirror while I do mascara, sorry, is nutrition. You're like, Melissa, these all suck. Come on, the dancing one was good. I told you had to exercise. I didn't say you had to lift weights or do HIIT or fit or any of that stuff or bench press 150 pounds. I told you you had to dance badly to Casey and the Sunshine Band. Come on. Come on. Whoever told you to do that before? So nutrition. Proper nutrition is really important to mental health. It's so annoying, but it's so true. So I'm going to give you the 70-30 rule. In a day, 70% of what you eat and drink should be nutritious. Can also be delicious. It doesn't have to not be delicious. But I know that the not nutritious stuff really tastes really good. It's designed to screw with your brain. All of the junk food, the fast food, all of it is designed to become an addictive substance. All of it. It's designed that way. There are people called food scientists, and they design food that people will want to eat and eat more of and eat more often. Does that sound healthy? No, probably not. Like, just knowing that makes you look at the golden arches like, So 30% of what you eat throughout the day can be crap. You're like, wow, that's very generous. You know what? After a while, it starts to get better and better, and then one night you eat a box of Entenmann's donuts and you go through a period of self-loathing, and then you get up the next morning and you make your bed, and you dance and you journal, and then you start over again in that day. That day you do a little better. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It's not on my list, but you always get a do-over. Just because you screwed up right now does not mean that you need to screw up in the seconds that follow it. Just because you ate a box of Entenmann's donuts last night does not mean that today has to suck. Just because you went on a bender last night and woke up extremely hungover, today's probably going to suck a little bit. Okay, let's be honest. You're hungover. But today doesn't have to suck, because you can pull the self-loathing out of this, and honestly, using some of these skills will help you right away. Jumping into a routine when you have gone completely off the rails the night before, the day before, the month before, the year before, jumping into routines can help you just get your stuff back together. And then expressing yourself by journaling, dancing, singing, writing, speaking, whatever it is you do. Maybe you write poetry, maybe you write fan fiction and you get it all out there, but somehow. And then moving your body. Move your body. I know you have a pounding headache. Okay, I know you've got like a major sugar hangover. Okay, whatever is going on for you right now, move your body anyway. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. The number 5 thing that you need to do, and while we talk, I'm going to put on my false eyelashes, and you'll see how it all comes together once you get the false eyelashes on. It all starts to make more sense. The number 5 thing is people. And this one's really hard when we live in pandemic world, like we live in and like I live in, because I have a compromised immune system and I have MS and they don't know what would happen to me if I got COVID. So people have been pretty scarce in my life the last 2 years. Okay? So that kind of sucked. But I made sure to stay in touch with people online. I made sure to stay in touch with people by phone. See, I told you. Now it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, now it's just a smoky eye. I made sure to stay in touch with people by phone. I didn't succeed in that all the time. But when I was when the depression was coming on strong, I was like, oh, phone a friend. It's like, and maybe I have some prearranged friends like Miss Robin. A lot of you know Miss Robin from my other channel and just from following me in life and everything. Yeah, it would be like, oh, Miss Robin, help. And I have some other friends that I can just, you know, reach out to and just be like, hey, what's going on for you today? I'm pretty much thinking I suck. How about you? And a lot of times my depression is based around my inherent suckiness of just, you know, my existence. But don't isolate yourself. The depression symbiote wants you to isolate, because when you isolate, when you are isolated, it's just like an abusive partner. They isolate you. Depression wants to isolate you because when you're in that bubble of just you and all of your self-loathing, it's just like a whole, like, it's like a little festering puddle of ooze, and you're it. And there's nobody there to help you clean it up. That's what happens when you isolate. So you need to reach out to people. So if you can, if you are having an absolutely horrible, no good, crapola day. I cannot believe I'm doing this with my left hand right now. My left hand is working today, sort of, but you see I have a little wing there. Okay. You were about to tell us something really important, Grandma. What was it? Was I talking about something? Okay. Here's what you need to do. If you are feeling really extremely crappy and down in the dumps, go out. What? I know. No, there's going to be people with masks. It's going to be scary. People are mean to each other. I don't want to go out there. Go out. Get out there. Go to the store. Go to the mall. The year after I was widowed, I went almost every day to the Livingston Mall because it was near where I worked. And on my lunch, I actually got a lunch hour. And I used to take it most times back then because I needed it. Actually, it's a long story. We didn't have anything to do. Anyway, look at that. Eyelashes make everything better. I would go to the mall. You know, I went to the mall. It was brightly lit. There were people. There were colors. I highly recommend going out to like Target or the mall or someplace bright and colorful, going out maybe to a park where there's going to be people. I want you to go someplace where there's people. I don't want you to like go to the park and sit alone. I mean, if that's helpful for you, that's great. But the goal of number 5 is to be with people. Okay? So I want you to just go be around people. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to interact with them. You can use the self-checkout if you choose to buy something. By the way, you don't have to buy anything. I'm not saying you need to go out and do retail therapy. Retail therapy can be very dangerous. I know this. Retail therapy is one of my issues. Go out and be around people. Use people as like a form of therapy. So we talked about fandoms and toxic fandoms and good fandoms. Like we had that whole conversation. And so you're like, okay, you just scared to people are okay. But there are support groups. And I'm going to put a link down to something that I just recently found that is like it's a support group for like people. It's like you can pay to do therapy and you can pay to do group therapy like with a clinician, but you can also for free be in group therapy with a trained volunteer. So it's a little bit above kind of just some random Facebook group, which I don't have anything against some random Facebook group. I belong to some great random Facebook groups where people support each other. But sometimes in a random Facebook group, when there's no one kind of guiding the process or the conversation, and there isn't like a specific time, like, okay, you know, we're going to meet in a group every, you know, Thursday or whatever. It's not the same as going to a support group. So, and these are available to you online. There are also support groups all around that you can find. If you have any kind of addictive behaviors, go to a 12-step meeting. Find there are 12-step meetings online and in person for just about every addiction. Go to a 12-step meeting. Go to be with people. Go be with people who understand you. Go be with people. Do it. So those are my 5 things. I'm done with the video before I'm done with my makeup. This is shocking to me. This is absolutely horrifying and shocking. But you get to see pretty much what the end is here. Yeah. I don't actually like this blush. They just don't make the blush that I do like anymore. And I'm kind of just in a blush. So if you have I loved, like, they had this cream blush from It Cosmetics, and now it's really hard to get. So now I'm using this other powder blush, and I just don't like it. It's not the same. It's just not the same. It just doesn't give me that same look So if you are aware of a cream blush that uses a brush, because if I do it with my fingers, that doesn't work very well for me for some reason. To review, these are the things that you are going to do. These are the 5 things that you are going to do to help you live with depression successfully. You're like, is that even a thing? Absolutely. I just told you. Did you watch the beginning of this video? I live with depression every day and have a wonderful life. How did I do that? I did these 5 things. 1, routines, baby! Routines. Listen to that Mel Robbins, Marie Forleo podcast. Go watch it now. This is like my new routine. Watch. I'm gonna be like, high five, girl. Yes! It actually does feel good. But making my bed, just having my clothes laid out. For a while I was doing like laying out my yoga mat before I went to bed. So I woke up and I was like, yep, I gotta do that. Like now it's like the weather's getting cooler. I'm like put my sneakers out and everything that I need to just get up and go for a walk. It's all gonna be out. It's gonna be set. It's gonna be ready. Make it easy to do. Routines make it easy to do all these other things. Journal, create, express, communicate somehow with yourself, communicate with your soul in whatever way you do that. Is it art? What is it? Going and yelling, going into the woods and screaming, and then people come running and you're like, oh, I thought I was alone. But once I went to the beach to go yell at the ocean, and I thought that it looked like it was November. Who the hell else is on the beach in New Jersey in November? Other people. Yeah, went to go scream at the beach. The ocean, really. I was screaming at the ocean. You do that movie moment where you just need to go at the ocean, and then you're just like, and you're crying. You look, and you're like, crap, where did they come from? Luckily, they didn't try to talk to me. I think they just understood she's trying to have a movie moment. Let's just let her be. Or, scream and hit the ocean. Let's walk the other way. Physical movement, dancing, boogie shoes. Put it on your playlist. I'm telling you, it is just transformational to dance badly to something like Boogie Shoes, or whatever song is just ridiculous to you. Move your body somehow. Okay, got to move your body. Got to do it more than once a day too. I find that I slip into a depression again around like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I hit this like valley because that's also when my energy starts to decline. That's when the MS batteries just completely run out. And so at that time of day, now I have like this little vibrating plate. So if I don't have even the energy to dance badly, I will go stand on my vibration plate for a few minutes because it just vibrates my blood. Go look it up. It's a thing. Nutrition. Just try to just feed yourself some good, nutritious food, about 70% of what you eat a day. Life doesn't have to be 100%, okay? Get some vegetables in there. Get some vegetables. Vegetables are really, really good. Get some lay off the sugar. Oh, it's so hard, especially because it's right before Halloween. But, try not to eat too much sugar. But if you do eat sugar, don't feel like, oh, I just ruined everything for the whole day. I suck. Just be like, okay, I just had a donut for lunch. Let me go find an apple and try and offset my donut. Okay? I mean, just give yourself grace in these moments, okay? We're all carrying around like a COVID 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever we're carrying extra. And then number 5 was go be with people somehow. Get out there, be with people. If it's too hard for you to interact with people, just go to the mall. If you feel up to it, go to a support group meeting. If you just want to do it online, do it online. But be with people and have some people. Create a little group around yourself that you can reach out to when. And these aren't the people that you're reaching out to. These are not your therapists. Okay, I highly recommend having a therapist and going to counseling. That's another episode altogether. Another episode of my little show. But the friends that you're going to call. They're not there to solve anything for you, okay? They're there for you to connect with another human being. So while sometimes you might call them and be like, oh my God, my whole life is falling apart. Don't be the person who only always calls people when everything is falling apart, okay? Sometimes just call someone when you're in a bad place, call them and be like, hey, you just popped into my head. Like, what's going on? How you doing? Even if they didn't just pop into your head. Maybe they're the only person who answered the phone. It's a good opener. Hey, you just popped into my head and I wanted to reach out. And then just talk to another human being. And if all else fails, you can always just make a video and put it up on YouTube. It's amazing how much better I feel right now because I just did this for a little while today. I'm going to go have my wonderful life. I'm gonna go play with dolls. I'm supposed to make a video about Halloween. I got stuff to do, but I want you to listen to the podcast or watch it, because Marie does both. Marie Forleo is awesome. Mel Robbins is hysterical. And I want you to check that all out. And then I want you to come back, and I want you to come back to this video. I want you to come back tomorrow, next week, some other time, and I want you to tell me, what did you start doing? Which of these 5 things did you start doing? Did you start putting together some routines? Is there anybody out there who wants to share what routines work for them or things that they helped? You know, just start sharing. Okay, all right, I tried some of these things, or I'm trying some of these things, or, you know, does anybody have any advice on any of these things? I don't want this to be a video that's here, you watched it and you walked away. This is the kind of thing you're going to come back to again and again, because you're going to need to hear this talk over and over and over again, because I have to have it with myself at least like 5-6 times a week. Okay? So we can all do this. We can get better together. See number 5, people. And I just love you guys so much. I love you for coming here. I love you for sitting through this video. I'm proud of you. I'm giving you a high five. High five to you for actually being here, listening, and just taking it in. Even if you don't do anything with it, the act of listening to this will make some tiny little impact on you somewhere. And I'm proud of you for doing that. And I'm also so grateful to you for doing that. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. You are loved. You really, really are. And we will see each other again real soon. Bye.